Oh, you guys, I got something to say.
What's up?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Splat.
But Metal Forge asked the question: have any of you ever suffered through Superman 64?
I
Nope.
never even heard of it.
No.
I've seen it around. Resisted
I've heard
the urge
of
to
it.
purchase it.
I've played a little bit.
Play it, whatever you do.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. The whole flying through rings and everything, and the stiff and draws. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. I want to add something much more positive.
Terrible, terrible fraud distances.
Sorry if I'm interrupting.
That's fine.
Fine.
Okay,
Oh,
I wanted
go ahead.
I wanted to add something positive here, and this is basically based off the whole controversy surrounding LJN. How many of you ever played the game Maximum Carnage?
Oh, dude, I own that on Super
think I have.
Nintendo. Great game.
Yeah,
I
that
played
is one of the that is one of the very few exceptions that is playable from LJN.
And here's something. LGN isn't always bad. There's other games that they made that are actually pretty decent.
Like Alien
I
3?
mean, that and Punisher on NES.
I've seen a review of the Punisher from Pat with AVGN.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. It's actually not a bad game at all. Even though I've seen it way before those two, but still, it's actually pretty fun. I've seen the gameplay. I'm like, I actually want to play this. And then there's actually another one they made. I think it was WWE Raw. Oh, sorry, WWF Raw. It's not the era. Raw for the Super Nintendo. The sequel to Super WrestleMania. Super WrestleMania was bleh. But the sequel actually did get some decent scores on the time, and people still play that one compared to the first one. No crap, I mean, the first one was terrible. LGN wasn't always bad. They
were publishers. They didn't actually make the games. The games that were made, like, part of the reason of what made what game was it? Maximum Carnage good is that both Maximum Carnage and Alien 3 were made by Acclaim, and Acclaim is more of a hit and miss in terms of their game quality.
That is true.
Yeah,
Such as
and when
T2, for example.
What? Oh yeah, T2 was made from like a very small company. I don't think it was made by Acclaim. But yeah, that's part of the reason. I think that could be the same thing for what is it, The Punisher? I think it was made by Acclaim and it was published under LJN.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And there was like I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah. You know, when you mentioned Acclaim as being hit and miss, that is so true because there's a game I do own that is meant for it to be a miss. But I personally enjoy this one because I find this hilarious. I gave this game a nickname, and DB now calls it that because I've been saying it. But the first Mortal Kombat game on Super Nintendo was censored like crazy. I gave it the stupidest thing ever. You know what I call it? I call it Diet Combat.
Yeah, that's a better way to call it.
That's a perfect example. Yeah, like that's what you would call it because there's no blood or gore. Duh. It's like having a Diet Coke. Exactly what it is, actually. Yeah, you got Diet Combat. There's no blood. You get to see sweat come out. That's the diet.
Yeah.
Diet Combat.
Well, yeah, that's because in the early 90s, Nintendo had the mentality of, they still have limited, like, the mentality being so limited on everything instead of being so freeform. And basically, that was just one of the examples of just having this mentality of censoring things, because the Super Nintendo at the time was meant to be aimed at the younger audience, whereas Sega made the Genesis to be aimed more towards adults. And then they grew into this competitive nature in terms of their marketing. I mean, you've seen the commercials and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Genesis does what Nintendo
It's just, yeah, like Nintendo. I know about the censorship of Nintendo, and I hated it because like there was a lot of games I was expecting to be great that was gonna be on the Super Nintendo. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be awesome, and it turns out to be terrible because it's the censorship that ruins it. I mean, you got Final Fight for Super Nintendo. It's not bad, but it's just still censored that it makes you want to go, why? Why would
What game was this?
Oh, Final Fight.
Final Fight. Yeah, like the first Final Fight. Yeah, you're right. It's not a bad game, but a lot of it's censored down. Like a lot of the there were hooker characters that you have to fight in the arcade version, and there was a slight bit of blood.
Yeah, they got rid of the
Hooker?
block. names were changed.
Yeah.
You got Damsel, which was changed to Thrasher, and you got Saddam changed to what's his name? Katana. And that's all I got.
Hooker fighters?
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
They're not
they're hookers that you fight, and they like hit you. The same thing happens in the Genesis fighting game. What is it called?
Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage. That's what it was. Yeah, there are hookers that you also have to fight in that one.
And they have whips.
And, like, funny enough, at the near the end of the first stage of Streets of Rage 2, you fight like some kind of dominant hooker character who has like a whip and everything, which is pretty intense for a game. Like,
It's a shame that Aeon left. It's genuinely a shame that Aeon left and didn't hear this.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have come up with jokes about that, but despite
Yep.
Yep.
oh yeah, I've been hearing about the butchering of Wolfenstein and Doom
Which
and
was
everything,
rumored
but
to cause the creation of Noah's Ark, Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Definitely Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is definitely a censored death game right now. Like, wow, man. There's a lot of censored in 3D.
But getting back to Final Fight, it's a very underwhelming game. The controls are like, they're very solid and everything. I mean, you have Capcom, but a lot of the presentation looked very half-assed.
Yeah.
And I know that it was the early 90s and it was the early time period, but I just felt like they could have done better. Like, they did a great job with Super Ghouls N Ghosts and its presentation. Same thing with Konami on Castlevania 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the other Final Fight games are, I like the third one the most.
Oh, I like the third. I wish I had 2 and 3 so badly right now, but here's the thing.
Dude, I have Final Fight 3. It was expensive, but it was worth it.
How much did it cost you?
Almost $100.
Whoa!
Same for me when I got Turtles in Time. Best condition as well.
I will say there's
Okay, the one I got for Turtles in Time, it was barely even used because it was still in the box and everything. I was like, it was barely used. I was like, what? That can't be possible. They're like, well, it happened. I mean, look at the cartridge. He showed me the cartridge. There was those scratches. The bottom was clean, like it looked new. The whole sticker looked clean as well. There was no scratches or anything. I looked deep to see if it was a fake. It was legit real. I was like freaking out so hard that I had to get it. And
I got a quick question. Whenever it comes to, sorry for interrupting, whenever it comes to getting a game, how many of you ever stumbled upon reproduction cartridges?
I actually have.
At least a few times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I never bought a reproduction, but I've seen many of them. And there was a time where I bought a bootleg just for poops and giggles, and I found out it's actually not a bootleg. It was really a reproduction card of Super Mario Bros. 2 on the GBA. Since the cartridge is a fake. The chip is... wait, does that make any sense? No. What I'm saying is, the cartridge is fake, like the shell is a different color, it feels different, and it's kind of hard to put it in your GBA, the sticker's out a little bit, but the chip is... Oh, that was weird. That was a dog. I put it in, it was Super Mario Advance 2 for the GBA, which is Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, so this is a reproduction cart with a bootleg cartridge on the outside. That's pretty funny, actually. So I bought it, and I was like, this game doesn't even save. It doesn't save. The save battery doesn't even work.
The reason why I asked because I asked that question because I have a reproduction cartridge of Chrono Trigger, and the reason why I got that one is because it was cheaper than most other cartridges you find online that are over $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wasn't sure if whether or not it was still worth the purchase or not.
I have one game that I'd like to get. It's called Legend of Dragoon. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a PlayStation 1 game. And it's one of those things that comes with 4 discs, and it will not let you play the other 3 discs until you beat the first one. I love the style of the game and how it works out. It's an awesome game.
And here's another one. Okay, Fox, what is like your dream game? Which game do you want so badly in your collection?
Super Metroid or Demon's Crest.
Alright,
Though
for
I
me,
might be able to look out for one on next Friday.
for me, it's one of them. Like, I actually do want Super Metroid so much. But the game I really want so badly. I even had to put in the sale for a long time because I really, really want this game so badly on my Super Nintendo. I want Sunset Riders so badly.
Oh, dude. God, that was the game of my childhood. My brother loved that game.
I love Sunset Riders. I want to get that game so badly. Like, I love Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time are my favorites. But when it comes to, like, I want so badly, it's gotta be Sunset Riders.
The game that I want the most, that like, I really, really, really want this game is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for the 3DS. It's not... It's Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Like, I know not exactly, it's not exactly a classic thing, but Monster Hunter's always been a fan favorite, one of my favorite games, game series.
My lovely Maxstar has Monster Hunter for 3DS.
Yeah.
She loves it.
What I love about Monster Hunter is the fact is that it's really good at teaching you something about life. It's kind of a weird way of saying this, but it does kind of teach you about life. The fact of if you fail at something, it's not always over. You can always like change your tactics. You can change your gear up and just try again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have a really weird thing that happened a few years back. I went to the eye doctor, right? When I got out of the eye doctor, of course I can't see, and of course me and my stepdad go to the Blockbuster, which we had at the time. Just try finding the game you want that you cannot see. I was digging into Naruto, I was like, is this the Naruto game? I can't find out. Is this the right one? I couldn't see no matter how far or how close I put it to my face. Somehow I managed to get the right one though, even though I couldn't see what it was.
Oh wait, I got a question for all of us now.
Okay.
Alright. And now you gotta be very honest. You cannot lie in this one. Ever. You gotta be straight honest. You gotta use your element of honesty, alright?
Yes.
Alright. What's the question?
Okay. So, name a turd game, and it has to be a legit turd. Like, it has to be so bad, but you personally like it.
So bad that I personally like it?
Yes.
It
is so...
USA. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Like, that's a game that was considered bad.
But you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It has to be a legit turd. It has to be so bad, but you like it personally.
Well,
a game that everyone else hates but I like? Oh, I don't have then again, I would again say that a game that love and hate relationship is the Robot Wars game thing. So good at building, shit AI. Worst AI.
To be completely honest, I don't think I have one due to the fact that since I don't play very many games, and the only games I've played are probably Red Dead, Undead Nightmare, Legend of Dragoon, and of course the CODs.
Well, I don't play a lot of games either. I play usually a lot of simulation kind of games. The games that don't have a set win. Because I think that's best for me, so then I'm not driven to work hard and win something.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you actually brought that up, that kind of brings me to something else, because, I mean, I don't play probably as many games as, like, some other people do, but I have been, like, I got The Sims 4 recently, and I've always, like, ever since I got it, I had a fun time playing that game, but the general consensus about the Sims 4 is that a lot of people think it's the worst game that's there so far, and I'm like, wait, really? And also the same thing, Archer. I also really like Shadow the Hedgehog.
I like Shadow the Hedgehog too. Like, I didn't have that big of an issue with it. I understood why people hated it, because there were some things I was frustrated with in the game.
I never played it, but to me, it personally looks like something I would actually play. So,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna like it. Here's mine. When it comes to a turd, this one I have is not really considered a turd to some people out there, so I'm not the only one who actually enjoys this game. So, we're all familiar with the Rayman games, you know, like they're fun platformers.
Raven
I've never
Rabbit.
heard of it.
there was no, not Rayman. No, that's actually not what I was gonna say. Here's what's cool. I loved Rayman 1 on the PS1. I loved 2 on the N64 and PS1 because it's on most consoles. But then one day, when I got the original Xbox when it came out, thanks to my uncle who is so awesome, he got one for us from the army. Seriously, my uncle's badass. But anyway, it came with instant radio, blah blah. It just came with the game. But then a few days later, we got another game that was a Rayman game. I was like, oh, a Rayman game on Xbox? Ooh, that could be cool. And it was terrible to many of the Rayman fans. Like, they all thought it was terrible. Rayman Arena for the original Xbox and PS2. Now,
you're gonna say
it's one of
raving
those...
revs, and I was probably gonna have to not have you as a friend anymore.
Oh, geez, no, not Rayman. No, I don't like that one. But this one here is a turd to many of the fans of the series because it's like it was trying to be a sort of a Smash Brothers clone, sort of, because it doesn't play exactly like Smash Bros. See, it has a lot of the Rayman characters from the previous games. They all come together, and what they do is that they just compete in games. Like, let's say, like, there's on-foot racing, and there's battling. That's all you do. But the controls can be odd at the combat mode, and the racing isn't really that bad. It wasn't really that much of a bad idea. It's pretty much the combat mode that ruined everything because that was the main selling point of the game when it came out. The combat mode killed it for everybody, and it did look pretty nice. That's all I can say. But personally, I liked it because it's not that bad as everyone says. But I can see why people say it's too slow and boring. And yes, it is pretty slow. But that's my personal, liking of a turd.
So we're talking about turd games that we like.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game
Okay.
that you like but everybody else hates.
Like
Okay,
a
so
game that
this
would
one-
get bad, like a game that has so much low scores and everything like that. Yeah, something so bad, but you personally like.
Okay, so yeah, no, like this one, I don't know if this technically qualifies as a turd, but I heard that it made terrible scores. Body Harvest, the N64. That was one of the first games I ever got for the N64, and the story of this whole game was that you were like this genetically enhanced super soldier that like gets sent back in time to prevent the Earth from being taken over by these aliens that harvest humans for a food source. So in order to stop like this from happening, they send you back at key points in time where this harvest was like at its highest. And so like the gimmick is instead of like traveling between like different planets or something like that, you're traveling between different like periods of time. So you're like in the 1950s and in the 40s and like that type of stuff. And like the thing I liked about it was just simply like how many fucking weapons this game gave you. Like you had like this, your basic little starter pistol, and you could get like a machine gun and a shotgun. But like what was really interesting about it that I liked a lot was the fact that like if there were these things called weapons crystals that you could find, and if you found all three of them within a level, it would give you like this super special alien weapon for that level. So like one of them was like this thing that shoots out like these 3 lasers that travel in a circle called the Tri-Spinner, and I thought that was really cool. One of them was called the Starburst. It shot out fucking like little trails of miniature stars that blew up on shit. It was really, really... I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Looks like we all have a turd in our lives, and that we personally enjoy.
Yep.
Yeah, getting back to what I was saying, the game that received a lot of hate, it was a launch title for the N64, and it was called Cruising USA. It's simply a racing game.
That's right, I remember.
Arcade game, yeah. It received a lot of low scores, except the controls were bad. I didn't think it was that bad of a game, but I can see why people wouldn't like it, because the game had a very unrealistic take on racing across the US. But that never bugged me, because realism is not the thing that I'm looking for. Is it frustrating? Absolutely, especially Chicago. Chicago was the most frustrating stage in the entire game, because they had to go under like some kind of tunnel, and God forbid you ever stumble upon hitting a fire engine, because it's really long, and if it spins around, it's gonna block your path, and you're gonna be stuck for a long time.
Here's a quick question. Who remembers a game called Glass Corps?
I remember last time. Actually, that was pretty fun.
I'm not really sure.
That's a game made by Rare. The game, the same company that made Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong, of course.
And Conquer! You're forgetting Conquer!
Examples. It's an N64 exclusive. Yeah, and GoldenEye. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
People who didn't really like GoldenEye.
And Banjo.
Wait, what was that, Fox?
I said I'm one of the few people who. I'm one of the few people who didn't really like GoldenEye that much.
Oh, did you prefer Perfect Dark?
I never played Perfect Dark.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. For GoldenEye, you would actually enjoy Perfect Dark, because Perfect Dark is actually a better game. It's like an upgraded version of GoldenEye, but it's done better. You have more objectives, you have, like, the game even tells you what you're supposed to do. You also have, like, a pretty cool satellite. And the multiplayer mode is actually really fun. It's also, the weapons have secondary abilities. There's a lot of good stuff you can do in that one, a lot more than GoldenEye. GoldenEye is a good game, but
Run away!
I recommend Perfect Dark over GoldenEye. If you don't like GoldenEye, you're gonna like Perfect Dark then.
I might give it a try. I've heard a lot about Perfect Dark.
I like GoldenEye because it was the type of game that I could sit down with my brothers and play. It was one of the few games on my N64, other than Smash Bros, that I could play with all my brothers at the same time.
Wait, what were you saying, Bob?
Two.
I could name another game that I don't like but everybody else seems to love, but I don't want to take too much of the spotlight.
No, go ahead.
I've got a game that people in the paleontology community have been loving, but I now have a vendetta against.
Well,
alright.
That one is Prehistoric Kingdom. It's trying to be like the next Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, but so many times it's been blind to science. So many times it's just gone, we'd like to put feathers on all the dinosaurs because, every one of them had it. It's being made in Unity. They're like, oh, we want to make people get interested in paleontology. Well, if you want to get people interested in paleontology, and how about, instead of just making all the dinosaurs that people want to see, you put in rare dinosaurs. This is something that I worked out from day one. If you want to get people into paleontology, stop just showing T-Rex and Stegosaurus. There's more to the paleontology than just that.
So getting back to what I was saying, there's about 2 games that I didn't like, that everybody else loved. There's actually a good number of games that I didn't like, but the one I'm going to be aiming for, and this is one of the 2 games that broke me when I was growing up on gaming, and that was Donkey Kong 64.
Oh dear.
I haven't really played that one yet.
Hopefully, Fox, you're not
I can probably guess why you didn't like it, and it was probably because of the fucking rare coins at the very end.
It's not even because of that. Trying to 100% the game in general, there was just way too much to take care of. It was overwhelming. Not only that, the game was frustrating, the controls were clunky. One of the most frustrating experiences I've ever had, I was throwing my controller constantly, was that fucking beetle in the second stage.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, I hate it too.
I'm probably gonna need a reminder.
Get the 90s feeling it tries to give before the game even begins. Put in some hip-hop and pro.
There's one game that I know a lot of people really like, but it's really one I really don't like, is Tomb Raider. I do not like Tomb Raider.
The new one or the old one?
It's just plain Tomb Raider. Not the Rise of the Tomb Raider, not the Legend, just the regular Tomb Raider.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like the entire. Okay, so you mean the original on PS1?
On Xbox 360.
Get away!
Oh!
I don't like it. The storyline was okay. I mean, I played it all the way through, but the storyline really didn't catch my eye.
I understand.
I love story modes. That's my favorite thing about Skyrim and Red Dead Redemption, but Tomb Raider just didn't have that. It didn't okay.
I think your dog needs to go out. Maybe that's why it's begging. Or barking.
Maybe that's why it's working.
And plus, my mom and stepdad have gone out to bring my stepbrothers home.
Oh, this is getting back to the whole why I hate Prehistoric Kingdom. Right, you know how they're in mammals you have those albino ones? And
Yes.
how they work is the fact that they don't have red in their bodies. Well, you see, albino reptiles, they do have the red eyes, but they're not all white. Guess what Prehistoric Kingdom decides to do for their albino dinosaurs?
Oh wow.
Pure white and red eyes?
Yep. For goodness sake. Prehistoric Kingdom, here's the science, here's your game, how about you make two meat, for fuck's sake? I mean,
Wait,
Yes, science, bitch.
Whoa.
I have 2 games to rant about. Okay, look.
Come here.
These games are not these games are not that old, and I have to say it, I don't like these at all. So everybody, and I mean everybody I talk to likes these games, and it's like I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't like them. And I am sorry if I piss anybody off because I don't like these 2. I don't like Undertale.
You like DuckTales?
I don't know. No, I like DuckTales. I don't like Undertale.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Dude, I think I know where this is going.
See,
Overhyped.
look,
That's the problem with the game.
I'm not a fan of indie games. Okay, I have to clarify this right now. I don't like indie games. Most of the time, I don't like them. Shovel Knight, I have to give it this. I do like Shovel Knight. That's the only one I like, though. Every other indie game I've seen always tries to go for the retro-looking style. I understand that it's simple to program, but every single indie game I've seen is like this, and it's like, isn't this getting old? And second,
Have you seen
make you feel better?
Goddamn.
okay.
Have you
Guys,
Hi. Alright.
Sorry, Sorry.
Alright. I'm not a huge fan of it because, well,
Come here.
to be honest though, the characters are pretty awesome. I will give them that. The characters are pretty awesome. The music is great too. I can't stand the music. The music's awesome.
Okay,
The humor-
whoever's talking over, can we please mute your mic?
Oh, it's Casta. It's Casta.
Sorry. Like,
Hey,
you
Annabelle.
show everyone Annabelle just because I'm trying to.
Hi! Oh, you.
Anyways, back to what he was saying.
Okay. So, I'm not a fan of the game due to many reasons of why the game. To me, it's the gameplay. I really couldn't get into it. The gameplay for some reason just died out for me. Music's great. The humor is seriously, it is pretty funny. I do have to give it that. The characters are freaking awesome. Those are the positives I do give it because it's true. The characters are great. I can't say no to the characters. Heck, I do have to agree. I do have to agree. Freaks. I forget the goat's name.
Which
Toriel.
goat? 'Cause it's like 3.
The mother. The mother.
Toriel.
I have to agree, she is the best goat there ever. She actually is. I'll give them that. That's true. I have to agree with that. But other than that, it's the gameplay that kills it for me. I found it pretty boring because it feels like I'm just walking all the time and not really doing much.
That's what most RPG games are.
Yeah, but here's the thing. RPGs, I actually love RPGs, but for some reason this one doesn't appeal to me. It's really hard for me to explain because I like RPGs.
Come on.
Hold on. I love Final Fantasy. I love Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Even the
And
first
does
two.
Fallout actually count as an RPG?
It's more sandbox, but yeah, I just that's good.
RPG, more of an RPG than the shooter because you can. Okay, I know it's another thing to do in Fallout, but it's actually an RPG because you mostly do walk around, travel to place, talk to people, do missions for them. That is what you do in RPGs. So Fallout does count as an RPG. See, I love RPGs. I really love me some RPGs. I also want to get Chrono Trigger so badly on my Super Nintendo collection, but it's gonna be really hard. But anyway, for some reason this one didn't feel.
Annabelle. No, wait, no, not the tummy, not the tummy.
And the second game that everyone really likes more than Undertale is Overwatch. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, but Overwatch is overrated. That's not even funny. But here's why. The reason why it died for me immediately, as soon as I looked looked at it, and I did play it, so I can talk. But listen, what's wrong with it for me? It's another shooter I just see every day. Shooters are everywhere. Shooters never die. And Overwatch just seems to be another shooter that just comes out and just goes, "Hey, look, guys, we got another game for you." A game for you that's a shooter, and it's Overwatch.
I will say, at least you do have like a reason to like it, as to like, I don't know, maybe just shoot aren't your thing or something like that. I have had interactions with people that just hate Overwatch, literally just to hate it. Like, well, have you played the game? Have you done anything with the game? Well, I looked at the trailer and it looks really generic. Okay. Well, you haven't played the game, you haven't experienced the game, so I can make a fair judgment.
I have played the shooting games, like I've played Call of Duty, I've played Star Wars Battlefront, like the new one.
Yeah.
They're just not, I just don't see the appeal. This is a problem I have with war. Like, I do not see the appeal, I don't see why so many people are into the idea of shooting others. Like, shooting other people.
In every game they play it well. It's like, oh, come on, really? Like, we never seen a shooter before. No, we've seen bullets. They're all over.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, that's another game that a lot of people hate, and I'm one of them.
I hate the new Battlefront so much. Every time I see the new one, I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna play Battlefront 2 on my Xbox.
Yeah, right. Battlefront 2 had like 39 planets. You could go to 39 planets, all these different maps, each map was different. In the new one, 5.
Yeah,
5 planets. And the maps aren't even different and like unique. All the maps are literally just the same place, scale it down, put it in a different place. The map.
The other thing that's really annoying is that you don't just choose your class anymore.
Yeah, there's no class. There's no class.
You have to make your own weapon layout, which is done to death now. You got it on Call of Duty, got it on Halo now, and I hate Halo nowadays because Halo has changed so much to like a Call of Duty clone in space.
Oh yeah, no, like I can
Don't hate on my Halo.
on there. Like,
Can I say
Halo
can I say
Reach
something?
was one of my favorite fucking games for the Xbox 360, and I was pretty good at it. I wasn't like an expert,
Yeah.
but fucking then Halo 4 came out, and I really fucking sucked at it. And I was like, why do I suck so badly at this one, but not at the previous one? And then I started playing Call of Duty. It's like, oh my god, this is basically a clone. Okay, you have really low TTK, time to kill. You fucking sprint everywhere. Like, you get fucking, like, perks and all kinds of bullshit like that on your fucking weapons. It's like, why?
I don't know if you guys
what made Halo unique.
Yeah, like, okay, here's one thing that some of you probably didn't know what changed Halo immediately. There's one minor thing that changed 4 all the way to the current games. Like, that, okay, if they didn't add the sprint control, it would have been another good Halo game. The sprint control is the main reason why Halo 4 turned into a Call of Duty clone, and why it changed into that. If you add a sprint control to the Halo game, they're gonna get rid of the vehicles. They're gonna get rid of all the flying ships. Well, still vehicle, because of crap. And the other thing, there's also, have you ever noticed, the new Halo games don't have much gravity lifts in every single map in online maps at all.
Yeah, no.
Gravity lifts are gone. They're taken off. And that, the Bungie people, like the people who worked in Bungie that made Halo, they said when Halo 3 came out, they were talking about like how much, they love the gravity lifts, the gravity lifts, that it helps you escape from your opponents because you're getting shot, and that's the only way to help you escape faster. And the vehicles are the other thing that'll help you escape. You just, like, the vehicles, gravity lifts, they help you out really well, and they're all over the place in every single map in Halo 3, and some on Reach. But what's really ridiculous is that when 4 came out, those things were gone, all because they added the sprint control. They turned it into an arcade-style shooter, that's what people call it, and but also the other problem, you have to kill a certain amount of people to get your powerful weapons. And I hated that, because that's what Call of Duty did. It's just exactly the same thing as bonus. It's like, are you serious? And in Halo, in like the previous Halo games, all the special weapons are out there. there's only like 2 of them in the entire map. So it was fair. And you were able to pick up your enemy weapons. You can do that in the later Halo games, but you shouldn't make a layout. You should just start off with an assault rifle like everybody else. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ranted too much, and I'm
you see, what really people you can tell the difference between Halo 4 and fucking 5 and the others, and the previous Halos, and mainly because when they added all those classic maps from the OG games that everybody loves so much, you could tell they were different. You know why? Let's take fucking what was it, Truth, which was supposed to be Heretic from Halo 2, which everybody loved because of all the fucking verticality and shit that it had. You know why it wasn't as effective in Halo 4? Because they fucking they took the map and they spread it all out to accommodate for the sprint feature. The people wanted sprint so they could get around faster, right? That's the whole purpose of getting a sprint, so you can go from point A to point B faster without having to get into a vehicle or something like that. But the problem is they take the map and they spread it out to accommodate for the sprint feature, so you can't be zooming all over the place like you're fucking Sonic attached to a caffeine drip. Really, you're not getting anywhere faster at all. Because you're just, really, getting from point A to point B in Halo 4 is actually longer than point A to point B in Halo 2, because in Halo 2 is less distance to accommodate. But because you have a fucking sprint now, it has to stretch it out. So really, you're not getting anywhere faster. As a matter of fact, if you choose to walk anywhere, you're just going to get there slower. So doing anything other than sprinting is basically not an option. So you're all running around like idiots, fucking sprinting into each other and getting killed in 2 to 3 seconds. Oh, I am so
I can imagine.
I am fucking livid at this shit. It's horrible.
We're getting so much rage. We love it.
Yeah.
Dude, can I at least say something about Battlefront? I've never played the game except for trying out, flying an X-Wing, and I was incredibly bored with it when I was at Pacific PonyCon. But at the very least, and I'm probably gonna get hated for this, I like their TV ads. Their live action ads. There was one guy who was
cool. I like those.
Oh yeah.
There was
I
one
have
dude
to see
who was there was one where somebody was at a work desk and he's looking at a toy R2 and it's he's working at I don't know, working extra hours or something, and he's having these flashbacks of when he was a kid with a friend of his and how much they really loved Star Wars. And then in comes his friend with an X-Wing and offers another X-Wing, and he just grabs a chair and just breaks the window just to hop onto his X-Wing. I just thought that was just it was an adorable ad. I loved it.
I actually like ads too. I do.
It was really good talking with you. It was really good talking to you again, Golden. It was a lot of fun on the stream. But I gotta get going.
Aww. Bye. Keep the hugs.
Hugs. Hugs, you sissy.
I also want to add something that
See you soon.
Hi. Why do you keep stepping on my toes?
I would also like to mention something. I'm backtracking the conversation to the game Undertale, and this is a similar issue that I have with modern games. Not all of them, but some of them. And basically, the biggest complaint, and I agree with it, and it kind of annoys me, is that when it comes to Undertale, they say that you have to play the game in a certain way. And this is something that nobody would ever know of at first unless somebody told you. Or you beat the game and the game fooled you. The thing that annoys me is that it's cryptic and you don't know it. And if a game is made just to troll you, that's going to be very discouraging in any particular value you would have to the game. On a similar level with the cryptic nature, I can't stand it when a game assumes you know what you're doing, but you don't. And that you have to quote-unquote think about it. Because basically, I just want to enjoy a game. A close example, and this is going to be loose here, was Mass Effect. I don't like Mass Effect because when playing the first game, I got frustrated on one boss after another. And this whole time, my brother, who's a huge fan of the game series, told me that, oh, did you equip Rex with a shotgun? Did you equip this character with that and such? I'm supposed to know all of these races and what kind of weapons they prefer. I already had to go through what their history is with, the Asari and the other races and such. I was bored as shit having to go through that, because it felt like I was going through a textbook. So you have to know all of that, and feel invested into it, and just... in
It's
general,
like
there's a lot of things that are just so cryptic, and I'm just like, how was I supposed to figure that out? A similar game that was problematic to that was Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
The first game, I just like, how am I supposed to figure that out? And this whole time, a friend told me I was supposed to do this, or I was supposed to do that. And if the game is not telling me, you got a problem. And it needs to be fixed. And on top of that, there was one other game that says you gotta have a friend to help you out, and that was Majora's Mask. That game was incredibly frustrating. I liked the
I love
the game. I liked the idea what they were aiming for. But if you have to have a friend tell you what you're supposed to do, instead of having the game tell you what you're supposed to do, that's a problem. I don't like it when a game is like that. I expect the game to guide me in such a way where I know what to do, or I can figure out what to do, and still have fun with it.
May I please interject, please?
Go ahead.
Damn it. I think for some players, that's what makes the game so magical. And I'm not saying you specifically, I understand that's your way of doing it. But for some players who are definitely dedicated to the series, especially with Kingdom Hearts as a prime example, I think that makes the experience a little bit more intense and a little bit more, which is very boring, I agree with you, but it does make it more meaningful. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess.
I think it's like, I think a great example of that is Skyrim lore. You don't have to read the books, but a lot of players do because it offers a lot of insight. It's very tedious.
He left some time ago.
What?
Yeah. Someone's asking
Ace was asking when Napalm was.
Yeah.
He left ages ago.
Here's a good question for you guys. What games do you want to be made?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry?
What sort of game would you want to be made? Like, what game is... Do you really, like, what's your dream game? Like, if you want to make this, you just...
I have no clue on what game I want it to be, like, created, but there's... Okay, what I'm saying is, I don't know what kind of thing I want it... I want this game to be in, like... I don't know what this game should have, or whatever. But there's one game I do wish exists. You see, since my laptop got the blue screen of death, and I'm still laptopless right now. Topless. Shut up. There's one game I wish exists since my laptop's dead. I can't work it on anymore, but this is what I want it to exist, and I sent it on the chat. I want that to exist so badly. I mean, I drew the picture, but I want that game to exist. I would definitely play the crap out of that arcade machine. Oh, it likes that. But yeah.
That wasn't dickish at all.
But you know what? Fox, you're not the only one who doesn't like Mass Effect, because I don't like it either. I'll be honest. And here's another series I don't like at all, and I played this not so long ago. I finally played an Assassin's Creed game, and it pissed me off.
Oh, I know.
Oh my.
I think I know where this is going, but go ahead.
Black Flag.
Here's the thing. Realism pisses me off in games most of the time, because I prefer something unrealistic and fantasy. I want it to be fun. I want it to be something I can't do for reals. That's why I don't like realism, because it's just something I can do for real, and it's like, it can get boring for me so fast. It's like, okay, press this button. Alright, now press that button. Do that one. And it's like, guys, you do realize you can do this in real life, right? You don't have to keep pressing button and button. That's not really gameplay if you think about it. We're just pressing a button that the game is telling you to freaking press.
Yeah, I get that feeling, because I think they wanted to implement that quote-unquote realism to make you feel like you're in the game, but at the same time, you could play an old game and still feel invested on where you're going.
Exactly. And it's like, come on!
The thing is, the way I tackle realism for games is like with Zoo Tycoon 2. I mean, I'm obviously not going to be able to change the biome that I'm in real life, but at the same time, my animals, like all the creatures and stuff, they look realistic. That's the sort of thing where, when I talk about realism, the character, like, how I'm playing is not meant to be real, but at the same time, the animals themselves I'd like them to be real. which is why I'd say for my dream game, it's a prehistoric zoo. It can either be a prehistoric zoo builder or it could be a life simulator, which just takes the science of paleontology seriously, does something completely different, goes for a rare area, and just makes paleontology look fun and interesting again. In fact, there's a
paleontology great again.
Yes.
But okay.
All these Indominus Rexes, they're entering this paleontology illegally. We're going to build a ban list.
Damn it. And here's the problem I have with Assassin's Creed, since, not only that it's realism, but there's so many unskippable cutscenes that piss me off. I'm like, okay, look, presentation. I understand that you're trying to, make your game look great. Make it have a nice, interesting story that you get sucked into. But don't constantly add cutscenes after a minimal amount of gameplay. That pisses me off. I hate it when a game does.
Ride to Hell?
The Order 1886.
Wait, let him
know. The thing what this reminds me of is a similar issue that I have with Mega Man X5. The first stage, you're getting constant dialogue.
Oh god.
It's obnoxious.
Which is one thing I'm grateful X6 fixes.
That's the only thing I can give credit for X6, because otherwise it is unplayable.
It's sad that a Mega Man game does that, and it's like, come on, I never think a Mega Man game does that.
What pisses me off even more about X5 is that they tell you, oh yeah, press this button to shoot, hold this shoot button to charge. This is the 5th installment! We already knew this from the first X game. The first X game teaches you how to play it without any sense of dialogue. Basically, it's pretty much just Mega Man! If you get my drift.
Yeah. Yes! Okay, I have to be honest, that sounded pretty funny.
No, but that's the thing with Ego Raptor when he did Sequelitis. That was the exact thing, like, Mega Man! Shut up!
Yep.
What if just... It's like that scene where he's like... Do you remember the episode when Ash got a thumb loop? No! Aaron, you magnificent bastard.
Oh, it's a...
You just gotta love Ego Raptor. Ego Raptor is freaking hilarious.
Oh, he is absolutely funny in Game Grumps when he completely loses his shit in games.
Yes, there's definitely. That guy's...
watching people get pissed off as games is definitely, I learned that's very entertaining fucking sentiment, because apparently when I get pissed, get off of me, you fuck!
I don't like getting mad at games.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Especially apparently entertains a lot of other people, so...
Yeah, but, I just want to add this. Even when I get frustrated in games that I play, I'm not gonna lie, I look back and I realize how funny it was that I was getting mad over the game. If there's any period that I was frustrated, legitimately angry and not having fun, was obviously the Racing Beetle from Donkey Kong 64.
Oh god, don't remind me of that fucker.
That was traumatizing, yeah. Or, when I'm frustrated and I have, this whole time I was supposed to do this or I was supposed to do that, because it makes me feel like an idiot. That's another reason why I don't like cryptic games. Because the game's supposed to assume you were supposed to know that, and this whole time you not knowing it just makes you feel like a jackass. And I don't want to feel like an idiot when playing a game. I want to just enjoy playing the game.
This is why I'm a retro collector, so I don't have to deal with junk like this in today's games.
Come on!
Every single game I play...
Can you mute yourself, whoever that is?
Alright.
Anyways, you were saying, Sedrice?
Okay. So, it's okay, Casta. So here's what it is. This is why I'm a retro collector, so I don't have to deal with crappy cutscenes that continuously interrupt your gameplay, and you can't skip them. Too much realism going on. Barely in, even programming that's lazy, I have to say, where you have to press this button, or press the button, or tap the crap out of this button, and then press that button. I hate it. Now, just because I don't like a lot of games today doesn't mean I hate them for, in general. Because there's some games I do enjoy that are made today. Heck, I actually do want to play the new Killer Instinct. It looks amazing. I really like Killer Instinct. And I want to play that new one so badly. There's also, Sunset Overdrive, which I do have, which I seriously haven't played yet, but I want to play it. There's also Splatoon, which I think is beautiful. I want to play Splatoon so badly. Huh?
The new Ratchet & Clank game looks beautiful.
Yeah, even the new Hatchet & Clank game looks freaking amazing!
Yeah.
Fallout 4 is actually pretty good too. I'll still play Fallout games. Fallout 4 is pretty good. Now, but the reason why I'm a retro collector is because I have to deal with all that junk that we're ranting about right now. And what Fox said, you don't want to play games that make you feel like an idiot. And that's how I am with retro games. I know what I'm doing. The game doesn't constantly stop you and go, oh, press this, press that. No.
I think
You really know what you're doing.
that's my biggest gripe with the later Sonic games. Oh, watch out! The fact that every single time it's like... what makes it worse is like, I'm okay with the game teaching people how to play it. I mean, yeah, there are going to be kids playing, they're not going to know exactly how things are going to play. But when you make your little tutorial character look not only creepy, but stupid and sound irritating, you just feel like an idiot.
I would rather take Tikal over Omochao any day.
Well, here's one
He doesn't have a problem with Omochao. I don't care. Oh, God.
And here's another thing. There's one game that does let you turn off Omochao, and that's Sonic Generations, and I like Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
It doesn't immediately tell you what you're supposed to do and stop you from playing the game, because you can turn off Omochao. Turn them off and there you go. You have like original Sonic.
Not only that, but Generations does what I think everyone was wanting, which was give Silver a saving grace.
And
especially his boss fight.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, there's a game I can say right now that is an example that just immediately just takes you into the game, and there's no tutorial or anything. It doesn't even tell you how to play it until like you go to the menus. You see, and also it doesn't make you feel like an idiot because you'll immediately know what you're supposed to do. And for me, I grew up with this series, and I still play some of these games today. I'm gonna say the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series is a game series that I enjoy that doesn't tell you what to do or doesn't tell you how to play the game or anything like that, because you know what you're doing already. It's like, there you go, you're in the game. Have fun. It's like a walk in a freaking playground when you're a child. That's how it feels when I play those games, every time. Especially the first one.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Boom! It's just...
Sedrice,
This is why I'm a...
Sedrice, I have only one video to show for this.
Yes.
Pro Skater 5.
Okay, you know what? Shut up. No. Forget it. No. Shut up. No. You do not speak of the fifth one, though. The fifth one was awful. It was shit. It was pure white dog shit. There you go.
Nerdcubes, I think, described it better as like a huge pile of wanking donkey shite. That was his actual words. And that's what I like about Nerdcubes. He's never been paid to say his thoughts on games. He's never paid to say it. He instead just takes whatever game he wants and then says his actual opinions.
Pardon me for saying this, can I just mention I literally despise those things?
Wait, what?
The small green enemies that you fly around in Wily Stage 2 of Megaman 1.
Yeah, those are annoying.
You know what I think we can all agree on that makes you feel like an idiot and is cryptic and was unfairly designed?
What?
The barrel in Sonic 3.
Oh, don't remind me.
I have a question for all of you guys again. Okay, let's say you grew up with a series of let's say you grew up with the game franchise, right? I'm sure some of them have grown up with the game franchise. Which franchise did you love a lot that made you get so pissed when they had a terrible sequel?
Zoo Tycoon. Yeah, the Zoo Tycoon franchise. I was waiting for a Zoo Tycoon 3 for so long. Then the Xbox version comes out and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing, look at the graphics, it looks amazing. Then I get it. And it's regrettable? No, this is basically the entire reaction I get to that game.
Oh wow.
It's so boring. Like with Zoo Tycoon 2, even though it does take like hours for you to make like beautiful exhibits, it's still that sense of satisfaction of getting it all beautifully made. I don't get any of that with the Xbox version.
That was close.
Because the Xbox version has next to none of that. You cannot build these like very intricate things. If I wanted to build this like trapezoid shape to hold like, I don't know, Dimorphodon, I can't do that. Because not only am I not allowed aviaries, not only am I not allowed to select different fences and make my own exhibits perfectly, but they removed the Zoo Tycoon always was just about making a fantasy zoo. It was about making your own zoo. You could have aquariums. You could have, if you wanted to have a zoo where there's this orca tank right next to a Tyrannosaurus Rex, you could do it. In this game, the most magnificent thing you can get. Oh, what's this? It's the that dinosaur. It's just another dinosaur. It's like, oh, it's elephants. That's really it. That's the most magnificent thing you can get.
Wow.
Elephants.
Really?
Yeah. Not only that, alright, the graphics are lovely. I'll give it that. But the graphics take ages to load. Between every single little change in camera and everything, you're sat there for like 5 minutes while the game just tries to catch up and make the animals look good.
Alright, my turn. Oh, I'm sorry if you're not finished.
It's just a minor nitpick thing. Right. Oh. There is this like Xbox One and Xbox 360, so you're bound to get like different things. But the Xbox One version has so much more than the Xbox 360 version that it's unfair. Not only that, but they're so lazy, they don't hide the stuff that's in the Xbox One version and the 360 version. And they even couple them to the achievements, meaning it is impossible to get the achievements. I think that's my piece on that. That pile of
I have two answers. Okay.
Echo?
Pro Skater 5. What?
Echo.
Oh.
Echo.
Okay. So for me, since I said earlier, I grew up with the Pro Skater series. So I love Pro Skater 1 through 4, and then Underground 1 came out, and then Thug 2 came out. Oh my god, Thug 2 is great. And then American Wasteland showed up. But then when Pro Skater 5 came out, I was pissed off. It pissed me off so hard that I was like, why? What did they do? You have to have online to play a campaign. You have to have online to have like, there's no split screen either. You have to have online for everything here.
Those games. Okay, now I'm seeing why this game has a lot of hate. That already, we haven't even like talked about the gameplay itself, and there's already a problem.
Exactly. See, yeah. Even you can at least someone can see that. Like, at least someone can see how much I hate it already because of the way how like it's programmed in the menus and everything. You have to have online first. It's ridiculous. All right. Now here comes the gameplay. Now, has everyone played Goat Simulator?
No.
What? No. I haven't played it, but I've watched it played a lot.
Okay. What I said Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Me! I like it!
Okay. Now, since I grew up with the Pro Skater series, this is where it pissed me off. Now, I love Goat Simulator. Heck, I was playing it when we were, I was playing it earlier during the stream. Anyway, I like Goat Simulator, but you do not put some Goat Simulator controls in a Pro Skater game.
Oh my god.
You don't do that.
Hey.
Yeah, they did that. It gets worse. So let's say you bail. Do you know what bail means to some people who's ever played the Pro Skater games? Does anyone know what bail means?
Yeah.
Snapper, hold on a minute.
Okay, like, you know, like you're skating and then you accidentally fall down to the ground because you messed up on your trick. That's what bail means. Now, anyway, in Pro Skater 5, the controls are changed a little bit that they feel sloppy. Like, let's say you're trying to do a grind trick, and you do one, but then you but for some reason the game's like, oop, glitch, you fall down. And you fall down like the goat from Goat Simulator. Every time you bail, you fall down like the goat from Goat Simulator. And that's an issue, because if you program it like that, you're gonna get constant bails. Because the game thinks you touched the ground, and the game thinks that you messed up your trick, that you fall down like the goat. And that's the major issue. I hated that. And that's one of the reasons why everyone hated it. Not only that, the level design was bland as shit. Everything looks so basic. It looked like something you could just see every day outside the freaking areas, like in the town and everything. It's like,
if one doesn't need to respond if they're not in the chat state.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I hated this so much that every single level looked boring. There wasn't even a nice looking part of any stage ever. I was like, why does it look so boring, an everyday looking thing? When I played the previous game, yeah, they looked like everyday stuff, but they had like a lot of things that looked like you could skate on. And that like they had like a lot of imagination of what like the rest of the place should look like. Like Moscow and Tony Hawk's Underground 1, it was just showing the biggest, like the biggest, like the most famous thing in Moscow. And like, oh, there you go, you got the big buildings right there. And what's the rest of the area like? Oh, it's all made up. But does it look nice? Yeah, it actually has a nice level design. There was even like a Mexico. There was Mexico in Post Hero 1 where it's like it's supposed to be a bunch of aliens, like alien ships around and fossils. And I was like, huh, this looks pretty nice. Now what I'm getting at is every freaking stage in 5 looks bland and boring. Same meaning, I guess. But it was annoying. I hated it. And Pro Skater 5 pissed me off. I was like, fuck it. I'm done. I lost hope. Activision, you suck ass. Oh.
I think Sedrice needs a hug.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, okay? It was so much crap that was added in 5.
You have an installment that got so much wrong that it just makes you lose faith.
Yeah, that's what the Xbox Tycoon was for me. I can get why they do lots of things. I mean, gonna go for realism, but I'm sorry, that's not what Tycoon was all about. Tycoon was just about making your teams. Like I said earlier, like if you wanted to have an Orca tank next to a T-Rex enclosure, you could do that. Hell, if you wanted to have a hybrid exhibit with orcas and great white sharks, you could. It might not work, but you could still do it.
And here's my second answer, which we ranted about earlier. The Halo series. I grew up with Halo as well. The first game blew my mind. The second game blew my mind even more. The story got more interesting in the sequel. And then 3 came out. I instantly fell in love with 3. But then Reach comes out. And then Reach is it immediately became my favorite game of the entire series, and sadly, it's still my favorite one. Because there's now 4, there is now 5, and those, I cannot say good things about it. Well, actually just one good thing, and they just look nice. That's it. Everything else was just changed to shit! I screamed shit. I shouldn't scream like that. But I hated it so much that even 5 didn't even sell as much as 4 anyway. And 4 didn't sell much as Reach. And I can see why. Because they changed the fucking control scheme to Call of Duty shit. Everything turned into Call of Duty shit when Halo 4 and 5 came out. And they're making a Halo Wars 2? Halo Wars 1 wasn't even that fun! It was shit! Well, to me personally, it was shit. But I was like, that's sort of a game that you could only play on the computer, not on a console.
Does anyone remember a game called Army Men?
Yes, I did enjoy Army Men.
Sarge's Heroes, that was N64.
And
it was another game that me and my brothers could actually play together.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were great. I liked them. I had never picked the later versions though. Like I never played the other like the extra games that came out. But yes,
Wow.
the Halo
2
series.
bots with 1 rock. That's impressive.
The Halo series died for me. Like it immediately died. I felt like, see, Bungie could have just they shouldn't have sold the franchise. They should have just stopped it and left it alone. They could have just done that.
Left it at Reach, honestly.
Alright.
Would have been like the
Final
best way
word of the
to go out.
Yeah, that could have been the best way to end the series with Reach. Reach could have been the ending of the entire Halo series. That would have been fine. Yeah, it's a prequel. Like it's just how like Cortana was made and everything. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But still, that's fine to end it. That doesn't matter. It's all right. Yeah, it ends at a cliffhanger with number 3 because she pushes herself after the credits of the 3rd game. But
If 4 didn't try too hard to be like all the other shooters, then I think that would have been a perfect ending, to be honest.
I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought Halo 3 ended fine. Everything was alright.
Really would have blown my fucking mind.
But
It's just really would have blown my fucking mind if somehow like fucking Halo 1 and 2 were Halo fucking 2 and 3 were actually prequels, and the end where fucking Chief goes to sleep in the cryotube, it actually leads back up to Halo 1 where he wakes up. That would have just blown my fucking mind.
That would have been awesome, actually. Holy shit, you just came up with a pretty good idea that Bungie should have made.
You're welcome, Halo. You can use that. And you better know what you're doing right now.
So,
Bungie's actually doing a lot better with Destiny than when they started.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember.
Like Rise of Iron, I actually had a lot of fun with. When they came out with that shit, oh my god. Like, they don't have Marty anymore, but the music is still just fucking phenomenal in Rise of Iron. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Fox, what was you gonna say?
I kind of wanted to shift the subject, like, it's somewhat of a different subject, but it roots back to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and
Alright.
I like I remember having that game on GameCube. The thing that I love the most, and it's kind of silly to say, is that you have this feature where you can customize your own art.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it was actually introduced first to 3, sort of. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Pro Skater 2X if you have the Xbox. That's where it first came out, and then it became a later feature on the rest of the game. Well, actually, no, I didn't have it, so fuck it.
But yeah,
So, what were we
I like the idea of a game that allows you to create your own stuff, and that's one of the major reasons why I want to try Super Mario Maker. I've heard so much about it. I've seen the level designs from Game Grumps, and I'm just like I'm curious as to what people have with their creativity and everything.
You can ask DB about that.
It's a similar thing to what Keyframe has, because she enjoys Minecraft.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Minecraft is possibly the only sandbox, like build your own stuff, that I actually got bored of. Because I was like, okay, I'll build this house, and I'll try and build this thing, I'll build this thing, and then eventually it's just like, I don't know, let's just build a smiley face. It got
Like,
to
look, I'm on my quest to get diamonds so I can get some of the best gear in the game. Well, I have so much diamonds. Let's just build a giant penis. There you go.
I can get.
I have so much.
I can definitely get behind the reasons why people wouldn't like Minecraft. But when it comes to games that you just want to make just to have fun and just like challenge yourself, like create an obstacle and like go crazy with it. Some people have the idea of like there was a Game Grumps episode that I would have loved to have tried out if I ever had the chance, and basically it's kind of a resemblance of Indiana Jones.
Wonder. Against Ghouls.
Yeah, I would love to play Super Mario Maker so badly. This is why I want a Wii U. You see, I love Nintendo to death, still, to this day.
Yeah, like, Nintendo's done stupid shit before, but you still gotta love them for, you know...
Exactly!
And with the Switch coming up?
Oh, the Switch! I want the so bad!
I saw the Switch, and I thought that was pretty clever, that you get to play it on a console, and you can switch it to a handheld and carry it everywhere. I think that's a very cool idea. It's a shift to collaborating both handhelds and legit TV consoles.
Yeah, I like
I
it
think
that
that's.
Well, I know for
Yeah.
a fact, like, there's definitely
main
most
thing-
certainly going to be battery issues with the Switch. I already know that for a fact. Because you're going to take it off, it's going to last like 2 hours at the most.
There should be like at
That
the
is
very least
assuming you
be
take it
some
out of
kind
the house at all.
adapter for it, like whenever you carry places, because it would. I can't say like find the right word. It would be somewhat of a detriment to its marketing because people are going to want to take it back, or they're just not going to have as much fun with it, and it would decrease the sales unless they can create like an adapter that you would take along with, and not just like having to take it home and plug it into a console. Because you could be in situations where you could be like an hour away from your home, and you're stuck at something, and you just want to play the game to occupy yourself, and you're there for hours, and if it's dead and you have no adapter, you're going to be bored.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll agree. Here's one thing that we
These are,
do
like,
have to
little
agree on.
things that are going to get like large complaints.
Right.
All I'll
One
say
thing that we
about
do have to agree on.
all I have said about the Switch before, and all I'll ever say about the Switch is, as long as they have a new Monster Hunter on it, I'll be satisfied.
A new monster?
Monster Hunter.
Monster.
That franchise.
Okay.
I've fallen in
I'm
love.
hoping for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out since they said Square Enix
Everybody
was one of
keeps
the,
hoping for Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm sorry. I just love
Monster Hunter,
Kingdom Hearts.
the Monster Hunter franchise, I have fallen in love with completely, because it's just wonderful. The fact of, unlike every other like JRPG there is, firstly the bosses aren't like fight loads of lesser enemies and fight this big boss. Like, but also the fact of each boss, like each of the monsters, feel like they're real animals in a real world.
Hey, we went to the store?
Oh, that's cute.
We went to the store?
This Monster Hunter also doesn't care about having a good story. It's literally
I think it's coming up to 1:15 here, so I think after this script we're going to call it for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Subject. Alright.
The fact is, with Monster Hunter, I think it's
discussion after the story is finished. But until then, be sure to tune in tomorrow to see Napalm for Tentet. What was he going to play again?
Sister location. Try sister location.
Yeah, and probably after that, I'm probably going to attempt Super Ghouls N
Oh, hi there.
Ghosts.
Okay. Good luck on that one, dude, because I cannot beat that.
And whilst I was gonna try Sunday this Sunday to play Stanley Parable, however, I think that's gonna be pushed forward to possibly the Thursday because I will be going to my nana's this weekend because my mum's coming up from Oxford. Yep, so I'll be able to get to see her.
Yay!
Anyways, a big thank you to those who managed to stop by. Unexpectedly, of course.
Yes.
Including you, Fox. We are absolutely happy to have you here, and you too, Solar.
Thank you.
You guys are so nice. It's really nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
Yay!
So anyways, I will see you guys next time.
Ciao!
Bye-bye.
Au revoir. Why would you need to